Yibunei HaMikdash Hirtzio Inte Malai Okor Les Ozman.
In this video, Rabbi Kolakowski, known as the Koblenzer Rebbe, will teach about why the apologetic argument of Judaism is the strongest of all world religions, particularly the argument, made by both Maimonides and the Kuzari, based on Deuteronomy chapter 4, about the unique status of the revelation at Mount Sinai. Let's watch.
Okay, Bruchim Abayim, welcome everyone. This week we are reading Parshas Yisro, which is the receiving of the Torah. We read chapter 18, 19, and 20 in Exodus. And so we read about the giving of the Torah and we read the Ten Commandments. The fascinating thing about the giving of the Torah is its unique status in all of world history. In a certain sense, it teaches us that the apologetics of Judaism are unique in the annals of world religions. The Kuzari from Rav Yehuda Halevi, and earlier the Rambam, Maimonides discussed these ideas. Every other religion basically begins with one person. Christianity essentially began with Paul, one man walking on the road to Damascus, according to the story in the book of Acts, and he claims to have a vision and invents a new religion. Muhammad, similar thing, he's alone in the desert, in the cave, and the Malach Jabriel, the angel Gabriel, comes to him and gives him a new religion. The Mormon religion, Joseph Smith, he's alone, up on a mountain, it's actually a hill Cumorah. I was there once, in upstate New York, near the Finger Lakes, and he says the angel Moroni comes and reveals to him golden plates, and he invents a new religion. Many people will watch a movie like the Ten Commandments and imagine that Moses also was up on the mountain by himself, or for the history of the world, and part 1, and Mel Brooks is coming down with 15, and then it's 10 Commandments. And he's all by himself. But that's not what the Torah tells us. The Torah tells us very clearly that the entire nation heard and saw God's word coming from Mount Sinai. We can compare this, maybe in more modern parlance. A person could claim he was alone in the woods and a UFO came and the aliens said some message for him, and he comes back and he tells his story about the aliens and the UFO. He could take it or leave it. We don't really know. Is he telling the truth? Is he not? There's a fellow, Dr. Green, he has all kinds of stories about encounters with aliens and flying saucers and things that he says was a very spiritual experience, and a lot of the things he's saying theologically are similar to what we're taught. He actually said he was an atheist, and then the aliens revealed to him that there's one God. And he doesn't like to call them aliens, whatever it is. That's neither here nor there. But nonetheless, you could take it or leave it. We don't know if he's saying, obviously it's true there's only one God. But did he really have this experience? Who knows? There's other aspects to his stories that he sometimes has more people involved. That's a different story. And again, he's not really saying anything. He's not really starting a new religion. But let's say that it was in the middle of the Super Bowl. Like this last Sunday was Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I had to, when I came to work Monday morning, I asked who won the Super Bowl. I didn't know. I was listening to Frank Sinatra on the radio. I was learning Talmud on my phone. I didn't have time to watch the Super Bowl. I was driving back from doing a wedding. Didn't have time to watch the Super Bowl. Didn't really care much to listen to on the radio either. Maybe would have liked to see the commercials, but I didn't have time. Would have liked to see the president, something like that, whatever it was. So let's say in the middle of the Super Bowl, someone told me, did you see what happened, that the aliens came down and had a message and something? Now, if it did happen, I would have heard it from a lot of other people who saw it. Let's say I didn't see it. Or maybe I was watching and then they said, you saw that? So if it did happen, I would have heard of it. And if it didn't happen, no one would get away with making up such a story. All the people who said that they saw aliens, some people, maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? If they were all alone, as opposed to an event like the Phoenix Lights, everybody saw that. So we know that that happened, but we don't know exactly what it was. We know that it happened, right? The revelation at Sinai is the equivalent of saying that not only in the middle of the Super Bowl, but something even bigger than the Super Bowl, because there were millions of people actually present who all heard God say, "I'm the Lord thy God who took you out of the land of Egypt from the house of slavery." You can't make up a story like that. You can't get away with making up a story like that. There were more people who heard God speak at Mount Sinai than whoever met George Washington in his whole life. So if you believe George Washington was a real person, then all the more so you have to believe that God really spoke at Sinai. When I came to this realization, I realized Judaism, it's not just my heritage, it's not just something that feels good to go to synagogue and pray and to spend time with my grandfather and his friends. I realized this is truth, this is the word of the living God. I read this from Rabbi Miller, of blessed memory, and Rabbi Kellerman should be well, and others. I'll tell you something even greater that they pointed out. In Deuteronomy chapter 4, it says, "I dare you, please ask to the earlier days, from the time when Adam was created until this very day, had any such thing ever happened or even been heard of, the entire nation should hear the voice of God and live as you did." Rabbi Kellerman said he actually did research, meaning to say, Moses is essentially saying, I want you to study all the world religions and find did anyone else ever make such a claim. If the answer is no, the answer is no. No one else even made up a story like that. And he said the one example he could find was one Hindu story where the Hindu deity told a bunch of soldiers that they're going to die, and they died, and someone else told the story. It wasn't an eyewitness account. And so it's fascinating. It seems that Moses knew, because God told him, that there would be, or probably already was, such a story, probably contemporary story, and there they died. Could have been later, I'm not sure. But in that story they died, so that does not contradict Deuteronomy. And so, and again, essentially most of the world believes that God spoke at Mount Sinai. For Christians and Muslims, that's part of their faith. And for other religions, there's no reason for them to deny it. Hindu or Buddhist, there's no reason for them to deny such a thing. Even if it's not part of their tradition, it doesn't contradict anything that they say necessarily. It's just something different. It's a different religion, different teaching. But all these other religions, that's how they all were. Same thing. Buddha was one guy. Guru Nanak founded the Sikh religion also. One person, right? Us, millions of people, all heard God. You can't make that story up. And so that's why the apologetics of Judaism are the strongest apologetics of any religion. And so that's why, at least my testimony is why I believe this to be true. And I have other apologetics as to why I believe that the Judaism that we have today is that same heritage, including the oral Torah and so forth. We could maybe talk about that another time. But it's such an important message that's worth repeating and reviewing again and again. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later. All right. Turn this off.
We hope you enjoyed this content. This channel has over 5,000 videos, including Torah commentary, podcasts, footage of Jewish and historical events, and much more. We are sure you will find more videos you will enjoy. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, and comment. Rabbi Kulikovsky often makes videos based on questions in the comment section. By helping this channel grow, you are helping to spread Torah. God bless.
Yibunei HaMikdash, Hirtzia in the Mala.